This is a piece by Cormac McCarthy, one of my favorite authors. It's from The Crossing, the second book in the Border Trilogy. It comes at the end of the book when Billy is bringing the body of his dead brother home from Mexico. And he comes upon some gypsies, and one of the gypsies tells him this story. The gypsy smiled and said that as a child he traveled a good deal in the land of the Gabacho. He followed his father through the streets of American cities, and they collected odds of junk from the houses there and sold them. He said sometimes in trunks and boxes they would come upon old photographs and tintypes. These likenesses had value only to the living who had known them, and with the passage of years of such there were none. But his father was a gypsy and had a gypsy mind, and he would hang these cracked and fading likenesses by clothespins from the crosswires above the cart. There they remained. No one ever asked about them. No one wished to buy them. After a while the boy took them for a cautionary tale, and he would search those sepia faces for some secret thing they might divulge to him from the days of their mortality. The faces became very familiar to him. By their antique clothing they were long dead, and he pondered them where they sat, posed on porch steps, seated in chairs in a yard, all past and all future, and all stillborn dreams cauterized in that brief encapture of light within the camera's closet. He searched those faces, looks of vague discontent, looks of rue, perhaps some burgeoning bitterness of things in fact not yet come to be, which yet were now forever past. The photographs that hung from the wire became for him a form of query to the world. He sensed in them a certain power. What he came to see was that as the kinfolk in their fading stills could have no value save in another's heart, so it was with that heart, also in another's, in a terrible and endless attrition, and of any other value there was none. Every representation was an idol, every likeness a heresy. In their images they had thought to find some small immortality, but oblivion cannot be appeased. This was what his father meant to tell him, and this was why they were men of the road. This was the why of the yellowing daguerreotypes swinging by their clothes pegs from the crosswire of his father's cart. He said that journeys involving the company of the dead were notorious for their difficulty, but that in truth every journey was so accompanied. He said that in his opinion it was imprudent to suppose that the dead have no power to act in the world, for their power is great, and their influence often most weighty with just those who suspect it least. He said that what men do not understand is that what the dead have quit is itself no world, but is also only the picture of the world in men's hearts. He said that the world cannot be quit, for it is eternal in whatever form, as are all things within it. In those faces that shall now be forever nameless among their outworn chattels, there is writ a message that can never be spoken, because time would always slay the messenger before he could ever arrive.